Welcome, drone video fans. This 6-minute video features 2 drones and input from 4 video sources. So sit back and watch what we're doing here. We got the Evo here. We just got it set up with the Explorer app. Now we're going over here to my faithful old XK X380, and we had previously put the battery in and got it to lock in on its satellites, and we got the transmitter here and the monitor, which shows the telemetry. The telemetry on my X380 only shows altitude, battery level, and direction. I never put a GPS on it, but getting ready here. We're going to take off with the X380 and put it up in the air, and then use it as a target to try and fly the Evo around. Now, originally I was going to use the dynamic tracking to see if I could do an orbit or point of interest. We're using the here we're viewing the AZ recorder off of the Evo's cell phone that I'm using to fly the Evo. You'll see the X380 at the top of the screen and once we get a little bit closer, but we're using the I recorded this on the cell phone there, and you can see the X380 out there. And as I said, we were going to try to use dynamic tracking, but the X380 was too small to lock on. So we decided, well, we'll just do a regular orbit and use the orbit function. Of course, those of you who have used the orbit function, this is where you set it up, and you have to fly over the top of it and then pull back. So the first thing we're going to do is get up over the top of the X380, which you see right out there. You got to drop the gimbal straight down so you know when you're right over the top of it, and we fly out here and sort of overshoot the X380. We're only in 1x on the camera here, but you have to make pretty subtle movements in order to catch the other one. And now I marked the center point, but we weren't high enough, so we had to climb up to at least 33 feet in order for it to accept that. Now we're going to pull back, and I get another error message here when I try to set the radius, because the radius has to be at least 33 feet as well. So as you can see right now, it's only 23 feet, and when I hit the set, it's going to say it has to be at least 33 feet. So we back off a little bit more, and I probably should have tried zooming in to 2x, and then maybe I've been able to fool it, but eventually we got it working. And here we're now in orbit mode, and we're circling around the X380 as it's hovering out there. That's pretty stable for the X380. Any of you who have had an XK X380 know that it has a tendency to drift and toilet bowl and do strange things at times, but mine was pretty well behaved this morning, so we just circled it. We're going to shift over to a 2x zoom here. I dropped out of orbit mode, so now we're just flying this around manually, but it's a little bit closer. Actually, we're no closer. We're just using the 2x zoom, and then of course in 2x zoom is going to pick up a lot more lens flare and have a little more problems with the the exposure from the sun. But it was a nice challenging thing to do. Here we're looking at video from the X380, and it sees the Evo. We're moving the Evo in a little bit closer until the proximity alarm went off, and but you can see that we're able to see the Evo from the X380. And now we're going back to the hat cam here, and we're going to bring the Evo in and land it on its heli pad. And it's a good thing that I, got all this done, because while the Evo can stay, I don't know, 27, 28 minutes of flight time, the X380 has nowhere near that flight time, maybe 14, 15 minutes at the most, and we were just about out of flight time here. I looked down at the telemetry, so I brought it back here pretty quick, and we dropped it in. Just as I was dropping it down, the big white light there, it went from flashing green to a green red, and then as soon as I landed it went to blinking fast red. So that meant that it was out of power, but we made it down and landed successfully, and got the flight in. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little test. It was something interesting to try, and leave a comment if you're so inclined. Come back again soon and catch the next video.